My dear Renee, I have received your letter of May 7th. I hope you have since received my letter of the 11th. Indeed, as you probably suspected, I was near Arras, and as you may have seen in the reports, things are quite intense here. I wanted to let you know immediately that I am safe and sound. Thank God and the Blessed Virgin. We can never thank them enough. Here is indeed my odyssey of the day of May 9th and the night from the 9th to the 10th. Our regiment was supposed to attack at 10 a.m. on the 9th, with artillery preparation starting at 6 a.m. For 4 hours, there was a veritable hurricane of shrapnel passing over our heads to crash into the German trenches 150 meters from ours. At 10 a.m., the 4 frontline companies, including mine, went over the top with bayonets fixed. A hail of machine gun bullets greeted us, literally mowing us down. Nevertheless, I managed to reach within 30 meters of the German trench unharmed. I turned around to shout, "Forward!" Of the section, 50 men, that had gone over with me, only one remained standing. Realizing there was nothing more to be done, I dropped into a shell hole with this man where I spent the day until 10 p.m. It was impossible to make a move, forced to scrape away the earth beneath me with my hands, trying to burrow deeper without being seen, as any slight movement would draw machine gun fire, shaving off the small mound that served as our rampart. In the pitch dark, I crawled, revolver in hand, towards the French trenches. Upon reaching the barbed wire, I shouted, "France! Don't shoot, French officer!" A hail of bullets was the only response. I insisted, asking for a patrol to come and identify me, but received another round of gunfire. Convinced I had gone in the wrong direction, I kept crawling, pursued by gunfire and the illumination of flares. I arrived at the opposite trench where I repeated my plea, "France! Don't shoot, French officer!" Oh, my poor old man, I was in the Boche lines and they made that very clear. Gunfire, flares, machine guns, nothing was lacking. Finally, after 2.5 hours, now certain that my first direction was correct and that the gunfire that had greeted me was just a misunderstanding, I took my courage in both hands, commended my soul to God, and made a dash, still crawling towards the French lines. You can imagine my anguish, especially since it was nearly 3 a.m. and day was beginning to break. I felt the barbed wire trying to penetrate at another point. Suddenly, I saw 2 men working in the wire and I listened. It was impossible to tell if they were speaking French or German. In doubt, I continued to crawl away, determined to find a shell hole to spend the day. But the 2 men spotted me. One of them took his rifle and approached me. At 10 paces, I stopped him, revolver in hand. "Who goes there? France?" But I was still not convinced, as he was wearing a gray coat. Still aiming at him, I ordered him to come closer and asked who he was. "Sapper of the 10th Engineer." It was 3 a.m., and I was finally safe.